Hello everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take another look here at Bitcoin, see what's going on, of course. Happy Thursday, I believe it is. And to see here, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at obviously, some smaller time frames, kind of see what's going on a lower level. Because we understand the big picture of the macro. I've covered that quite a lot. And in general, just to kind of preface, we are in this ascending pattern, still looking good shape, okay? So big picture, not a problem there in that sense. And if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, hope you learned something here today. Been trading for a very long time, and I hope that you can just become better educated. I have a trading community, academy, and signal group. Link in the description below, CryptoCache.tech if you want to check that out in your own time. Taking a look here at Bitcoin, though, here's kind of the big picture. Once again, ascending pattern, looking good. We hit 35, 37, 38, and then 39. So in this, under the impression that this continues to maintain itself, we'll naturally be at 42 within a month or two. So by May 30th or 31st, essentially, we should see 42,000 as the new bottom or the established bottom. Again, that's just hypothetical. There's no guarantees, but this trend line has been tested multiple times. It continues to hold. So at this point, again, hypothetically, 39,000 is the bottom. We should expect anything, nothing lower than that for the moment until this trend breaks. Again, trends are not guaranteed, but they do hold strong for very long times. So I think that we're in pretty good shape there even still, all right? But let's go ahead and acknowledge some other stuff that is disadvantageous, right? So we got 48,000, of course, as a key level resistance. That's a far ways away. We'll bridge that gap when we get there. We've also got the 50-day SMA trending right around 42,000. So my speculation is that we'll see between 40 or maybe even 39 and 42,000 as a potential channel trade for the next couple of, at least couple of days, possibly even couple of weeks, depending on the overall sense. So we're probably going to see something similar to this, where it just kind of range trades and kind of holds itself in place for the moment. Again, building a stable foundation of volume before it levels up again. Okay, so generally speaking, that's kind of the speculation there in that sense based on the macro. If we look at the RSI, nothing super awesome here. We can see the price is kind of getting rejected out a little bit, but not a lot of amplitude there, which is pretty standard for the situation. Again, what goes down must come up, but also what goes down takes longer to come back up because it fell down pretty hard. Okay. And that was a pretty significant sell-off there, as we've experienced in the past. But every time it has a tendency of bouncing back up and coming back up again. But I think we're going to take a little bit longer to recover this time. Taking a look at the 4-hour, we are under both moving averages. Of course, that's pretty standard. The 50 is working its way down, so we could potentially break back above the 50. That would be fantastic. We'd love to see that. But for now, it's considered to be a resistance level, and we'll figure out where we're at here soon. But generally speaking, we shouldn't worry about that too much. That could and should hold the price action down, but there's a lot of other things also holding the price action down, such as this key level resistance here based on Fibonacci. 41,600 is obviously a level that is a point of, well, it can't seem to break past that, and that explains why we're seeing this sell-off here in the last 4 to 8 hours, based on the fact that we've tried 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 almost times to break, just say rough estimate, 41,500, and that is potentially causing a ripple there. In other words, price comes up there, cannot pass, so it's going to come back down. And here's something that's interesting though, is the fact that we had this resistance previously, of course, and these are based on the candlestick close. It's not necessarily the wicks, but the candlestick close here. Again, shorter time frame, there's not tremendous amount of data, but generally speaking, you could see that 40,370, just say 40,400 is a round number, was a key level resistance, and the price couldn't break through that for some time. Eventually did. Now it's potentially a support level. Okay, so we've got this tentative support on the smaller time frame. Again, the lower the time frame you go, the less likely those support levels are to hold. But support levels drawn out on the 4-hour can, in some cases, hold very nicely. Again, just something to consider. A big picture there, that's not bad nor good. It's kind of just, it's a potential support there, and we got to see here soon if it continues to hold. I mean, if it does, then we would be making higher lows, and we'd still be in good shape, and this wouldn't be that terrible of a correction. You could even argue that the pattern is ascending. Okay. Again, that's a bit of a stretch. I don't like to draw significant trend lines, so to speak, on a 4-hour time frame, but that's still relevant. Okay, just something to acknowledge. But the elephant in the room here is a simple fact that we got rejected pretty hard off 50 on the RSI. And that is concurrent with the resistance level at 41,600. So we can confirm that this Fibonacci retracement level of 41.6 is effectively a strong resistance, and that we cannot expect that to get broken immediately. But if it does test it again, we could in fact see a potential breakthrough. Okay. Yeah, again, so, something's kind of looking like this. It could very well come back up and break right straight through. Because again, it was tested multiple times, got rejected, but when you come back to test something that's been rejected multiple times, and you have more volume going into it, the bears could be effectively exhausted by that time, and we could essentially see the price push through there. Could also experience a short squeeze as well, based on the fact that a lot of shorts are probably putting their stop loss just above that point, which is a very common practice. All right, so that's kind of where we're at there for the 4 hour. Take a look at the 1 hour, kind of see what's going on here. TD sequential, we can see a bit of an exhaustive state here. And when I say a bit, this number 9 was a pretty strong sell-off. And that was pretty much right when the market had opened. So, come 6:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, market opens and it sells off, likely because of some other stuff that's going on in the traditional stock market. But in general, that is essentially what we see there. So that being said, we came all the way down to a 9. So hypothetically, we shouldn't see too much more downside here. This support level here, the tentative support of 40,400, could and should hold. And if it does, then we'll see the potential break back to the upside. If that doesn't hold, then of course we'll have to reevaluate. But generally speaking, when you see a 9 on TD sequential on the 1 hour, it's usually going to go sideways for some time and then possibly leg down again. So I'd get concerned if the price goes sideways like this and then we see low volume. Then we'll probably see the price dissipate and continue to progress lower. If we start to see an increased amount of volume, then we could possibly see the price bounce back. Obviously, we've got a lot of volume here based on the recent sell-off. So I'd be interested to see how much volume we're going to start seeing in the next 8 hours. Specifically when the trading, the trading is open in the traditional market there, and see essentially how that affects us. For now, again, not dire straits, but losing 40,400 would tentatively be not a positive sign. So in truth, right now, I would just recommend, because I get a lot of members asking me, hey, are we going to see a lot more signals here now that we found our bottom? While it is true and we're maintaining this support channel and this ascending channel, and the likelihood of 39,000 being the bottom is fairly high, we still don't have that full-on confirmation. Now, truth be told, you'll never actually get a true confirmation in this environment. The way that things jump up and down, it's hard to really speculate. But the truth is here, though, that we are making higher lows, and until that changes, we need to expect the price to at least go sideways from here. So that's my speculation. That's why I feel 39 to 42 will probably be a pretty consistent price range for the immediate future until we establish more volume at this price point and we can leg up again. I don't think we're going to experience an immediate recovery or relief. If we were to, it'd be kind of a surprise and maybe not all that great, because we do still need to build a little bit more volume at this foundation, this level. And let's go ahead and take a quick look at the volume. As a matter of fact, while we're here, what we'll do is just go ahead and this is what, let's go from the first year. So let's go from 2022 till now. This is roughly what we're looking at here. We can see, again, a strong amount of volume accumulation at 39,000. That's actually the largest volume price point, which is a good sign. That really just reaffirms the fact that should be the bottom. We also see just below that 38.5 is a good amount, but we do have a tremendous amount of resistance here in the sense of the fact that between 42 and 44,000, we're going to see some rejection perhaps when the price travels into that range. So again, I'm not surprised to see, based on this volume profile here, the fact that we have less volume in this range tells me we need to build more volume in that range before we can leg up again. Okay. So again, I know this is just kind of random data, of course, from the first of the year, but the last 4.5 months, if it's any indication, is letting us know that, hey, we've got this gap that doesn't have a tremendous amount of volume. We've got a nice solid foundation at 39, but we need to build more volume between 39 and 42 before we can leg up through the 42 to 44 range. So again, those are just little things I like to look at. I think it's important to understand that big picture here, we're not in terrible shape. We got some pretty strong, solid support levels. I do feel as if even if we did lose 39, we should have some range between 47.5 and 39 to hold us in place. We might see a wick down perhaps as a last-ditch effort, which we've seen happen a few times in the past. But we want to pay attention to the volume again, because that was a lot of volume there, and it did kind of signal a turnaround there, or an unwillingness to come much lower. And with us having, just say we have an increased amount of volume here soon, we can expect a lot more, push to the upside. It'll be a lot easier to get through these resistance levels with more volume. But we don't want to see these little low volume pockets. Of course, that was a weekend, but that was still very, very low volume of the weekend, and that led to a sell-off on Monday. So again, a handful of different little thought processes there, but I wouldn't say that we're in terrible shape, but we're definitely not out of the woods yet. So in that sense, I would exercise caution, wait just a little bit longer for confirmation, see if 39 gets tested again, and if so, then maybe consider adding to your position. Worst case scenario, we continue dollar cost average at that price point, and 5 to 10, 20 years later down the road, when Bitcoin is upwards of 7 figures, we're going to be happy we put our money in at 39 and 40. Something to think about. Again, big picture here, Bitcoin has tremendous potential. As the supply is diminishing, the value is increasing. That's just a natural way in which supply and demand works. So that being said, all good stuff here in that sense. Dollar cost average wherever possible, but I would be cautious and careful with leverage positions at this exact moment, just based on the simple fact that there's no definitive direction just yet. It does look like it wants to recover, but there isn't a lot of confirmation so far signaling that we should expect the price to dramatically increase in the near future. I think the overall sentiment is, though, that we will see the price start to average itself higher. That's just kind of the way it goes right now. All right, I hope you found benefit and this made sense. And if so, comment below, like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And of course, if you're not currently a community member, I do look forward to working with you. CryptoCache.tech is the website. Link in the description below. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for your time. See ya.